attacks on Iran.
Good evening and a warm welcome to News at 7. Kunle Ariyo is my name. This evening we begin from the home front. The Ondo State government has issued a final warning to all private primary secondary school proprietors in the state on unauthorized graduation and promotion ceremonies for non-terminal classes. Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Ibekele Ajibefun, gave the warning following persistent defiance and violations of the government bans on such activities. Reiterating the government's position, Professor Ajibefun emphasized that such events serve no academic purpose and place unnecessary financial burden on parents and guardians. The ministry directed that all private schools must immediately halt any ongoing plan or advertisement of graduation ceremonies for non-terminal classes. It insisted that only formal promotion ceremonies for students completing their final year of primary and secondary education are permitted, and these must be conducted with strict moderation. The ministry also called on parents and guardians to report any school that mandates or pressure them to pay fees or contribute towards graduation ceremonies for non-terminal classes. The Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, in collaboration with National Broadcasting Commission and Oyo State Government, has held its 2026 Southwest Broadcast Summit in Ibadan. The summit focused on the role of media in promoting national security through responsible and conflict-sensitive reporting. Joy Pius reports that 7 broadcast professionals from Ondo State were among those inducted into the society. Her report.
Broadcast professionals, media executives, and stakeholders gathered in Ibadan, Oyo State, for the 2026 Southwest Broadcast Summit themed Public Policy, Mass Media and Conflict-Sensitive Broadcasting, Strengthening Media Government Synergy for National Security. Chairman on the occasion and Board Chairman of Crest Hills Media Concepts Limited, Prince Ade Adekombi, said the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters remains committed to promoting professionalism and strengthening collaboration between the media and government.
Everybody just wake up now and says the broadcast. Even citizens and social media, they call themselves broadcasters and recognize themselves. So this will define who the broadcasters SMB start working properly. So we should ensure that we start with SMB to make everything possible that will make it responsible for professionals in broadcasting in Nigeria. That should be our stance.
Delivering the keynote lecture, former Oyo State Head of Service and former Secretary to the State Government, Chief Adebisi Adeshola, urged broadcasters to remain accurate, objective and professional in reporting security-related issues.
In a conflict-sensitive broadcaster, let me break it down now, must qualify information rigorously. You must avoid collective blame. You must distinguish between facts, allegations, and speculation. You must use language that does not dehumanize. You must include multiple perspectives. And you must avoid sensationalism that may intensify fear or retaliation.
One-time Nigerian ambassador to the Philippines and founding member of the society, Yemi Farumbi, stressed the need for responsible dissemination of information, especially on matters affecting national security.
How do we ensure that the broadcasters carry out their professional responsibility, do not become unwittingly an agent of the private field? I know that I have seen the code of 2009. I have seen the code of the 19 riots. That what we did in 1999
Director General of National Broadcasting Commission, Charles Ebuebu, represented at the event, reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to supporting responsible broadcasting as a vital tool for national security.
The National Broadcasting Commission remains committed to promoting a broadcasting environment that encourages professionalism, innovation, inclusiveness, and strict adherence to ethical standards. Through effective regulation, stakeholder engagement, capacity building, and consistent application of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code, the Commission will continue to support broadcasters in fulfilling their obligations to the Nigerian people.
I shall promote the interests.
The summit also featured the induction of new members into the society, with 7 broadcasters from Ondo State among those inducted.
We have a preponderance of membership of different kinds of people who call themselves broadcasters here and there. But for me, today's induction has more or less cemented, more or less confirmed that I'm a legitimate and a qualified member of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters. In other words, I am a broadcaster.
My induction into a society, an umbrella society that recognizes professionalism in broadcasting, by being inducted into that society shows that I am now fully recognized as a thoroughbred professional. There are so many of them out there.
Lifetime Achievement Awards were presented to distinguished personalities for their outstanding contributions to the growth of broadcasting in Nigeria. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has expressed concerns that the recent appeal court judgment regarding the Electoral Act and its election guidelines could undermine preparations for the 2027 elections, insisting that the rulings pose no obstacle to the conduct of the polls. INEC made the position known through Mohammed Haruna, a National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, who said the Commission's constitutional mandate to conduct elections and issue the necessary administrative guidelines remains intact, stressing that the judgment affirming its powers over election timetable reinforced its legal position. The reaction by INEC followed 2 recent Court of Appeal decisions touching on its regulatory authority and the unconstitutional autonomy of political parties, prompting fresh discussions on the Commission's powers to regulate party activities ahead of the 2027 general elections. The assurance came as senior lawyers urged a caution over the implementation of the judgment and called for clarity to avoid uncertainty ahead of the 2027 elections. The differing legal interpretations have nevertheless highlighted the delicate constitutional balance between INEC's responsibility to regulate elections and the autonomy of political parties to manage their internal affairs. We'll now take a break now. When we'll come back, we'll give you more stories. Please do stay with us.
No make we talk. Time down reach to arrange the sound to give una small wisdom. Shout my team fresh now, but in our own, I beg no be so. Before una go talk, say our smile no reach. Make una think I'm twice so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's a time to brush. No more cover now.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
You're welcome back from that commercial break. You can watch us live on our digital channel, Maplex 720, Free TV 760 and free mobile on our website. Visit www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The federal government has filed a 10-count criminal charge against 3 persons arrested over alleged complicity in the recent kidnap of children and teachers of a school in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The 10-count charge filed before the Federal High Court, Abuja, borders on terrorism, kidnapping, concealment, incitement, and illegal mining. The 3 defendants from Suleja local government area of Niger State were alleged to have conspired with Mohammed Sani, Jubril Mohammed, and Ibrahim Kabab between January and May 2026 to kidnap school children and teachers in Oyo State. They were further alleged to have aided the kidnap of the school children and teachers and to have concealed information regarding the identities and activities of the alleged masterminds despite knowledge of the plot. The charge sheet also alleged that the trio professed membership of Darul Salam, described as an affiliate of Ansaru, a proscribed terrorist organization in Nigeria. The suspects are expected to appear in court next week, having concluded their investigation. Also, the Edo State Security Squad has arrested 12 suspected cultists during a raid on criminal adults in Uzembo quarters of Bini, Oredo local government area. The squad publicity secretary, George Aburime, who disclosed this, said the suspects were arrested at Azubu quarters, an area identified as a hub of drug trafficking and cult activities. Aburime said the suspect had been handed over to the police for further investigation and would face prosecution if found culpable. He stressed that Governor Monday Okpebolo's administration will not tolerate criminality and any breach of law and order in Edo State. The spokesperson appealed to residents not to harbor criminals, stressing that community support remained crucial to sustaining peace and security across the state. Also, the Bayelsa State Police Command has arrested 3 staff members of the State Ministry of Labor, Empowerment and Productivity over the alleged theft of government equipment valued at about 500 million naira. The suspects were alleged to have conspired to steal several government-owned assets, including a 110 kVA generator, forklift, and other equipment kept in the ministry's store. The command spokesperson, Musa Mohammed, said the investigation was triggered by a petition submitted to the Commissioner of Police after ministry officials discovered that several valuable items were missing during an inspection of the equipment store. Mohammed explained that the suspects have confessed to the crime, and the forklift recovered from the receiver, who is in the custody of the State Criminal Investigation Department. He added that upon conclusion of the investigation, the suspect will be charged to court. The University of Calabar has dismissed 8 teachers, 8 teaching and non-teaching staff members over various offenses, including examination misconduct, absenteeism, and abandonment of duty, while delaying the promotion of one other staff member by 2 years. The decision, communicated through the university's registrar, Dr. Icha Chukwuka, was taken to the 174th meeting of the university's governing council upon deliberating on the report of disciplinary cases presented to it. Chukwuka said a professor in the Department of Nursing Science was dismissed over alleged examination misconduct, while 4 other staff members of the department were dismissed for alleged absence from duty and abandonment of post. The university management reiterated its zero tolerance for all forms of unethical practices, adding that the Council remains committed to a branded institution on the foundation of integrity and excellence in service delivery. For generations, farmers and fishermen relied on predictable weather patterns to plan their activities, but today, rising temperatures, irregular rainfall, and extreme weather conditions are disrupting those age-old practices. How is climate change affecting food production and the livelihood of those who depend on farming and fishing? Our reporter, Susan Adewale, examines the growing impact. Her report.
Climate change is taking a heavy toll on farming and fishing activities, threatening food production and the livelihoods of millions of Nigerians. Erratic rainfall, prolonged dry spells, flooding, and rising temperatures are making it increasingly difficult for farmers to cultivate crops and for fishermen to maintain stable catches. Agriculture remains a major contributor to Nigeria's economy, accounting for about 1/5 of the nation's gross domestic product, while millions of rural households depend on farming and fishing for food income. However, experts say changing weather patterns are reducing crop yields, affecting fish habitats, and increasing the risk of food insecurity. Agricultural experts stress that adapting to climate change has become essential for sustaining food production. They recommend climate-smart farming practices, improved irrigation, the use of drought-resistant crop varieties, and better management of natural resources. Agricultural expert Abiodun Adieko explains how climate change is affecting agricultural productivity and the steps
of human seeds as a result of natural occurrence, so to say, which includes excess of rainfall, excess of temperature, excess of humidity, and all the rest like that. So climate change has actually reduces, delays planting. It has destroyed crop. Sometimes when the wind is too much, the cassava stem will be breaking, maize will be breaking on the farm, and it will definitely reduce photosynthesis. We call it photosynthetic activity of the plant, and it will reduce actually tuberization, and it will reduce the overall output of the farmer, which will also reduce the income of the farmer and affect his livelihood.
on the farms, the effects are already being felt. Farmers say they now struggle with delayed rainfall, shorter growing seasons, and unexpected flooding, forcing them to change planting schedules and farming methods. Large-scale farmer Benga Obawoye shares his experience.
Rainfall at times that over the years, we have not been experiencing rainfall. We have break in rainfall at the times of the year when we are not used to a break in the rainfall. Then at times also in the year we have excessive rainfall, even beyond what the normal average has been over the past. So you have a lot of things that seem to be throwing farmers and agricultural practice off balance. So you definitely begin to experience diseases, situations that we are not used to.
Fishermen are not left out. Rising water temperatures, changing water levels, and unpredictable weather conditions are affecting fish breeding and reducing catches, with serious consequences for communities that depend on fishing for their livelihoods. Experts say although climate change is a global challenge, its impacts can be minimized through climate-smart agriculture, afforestation, efficient water management, reduced environmental pollution, and stronger government support for farming and fishing communities. As climate change continues to reshape the environment, stakeholders say urgent action is needed to protect agricultural productivity, strengthen food security, and safeguard the livelihoods of present and future generations. Susan Adewale, Osrc News.
I'll move straight to the foreign scene. The U.S. military says it has carried out the 7th night of strikes on Iran since President Donald Trump declared the temporary ceasefire agreement was over. U.S. Central Command said its forces hit surveillance sites, military logistics infrastructure, underground weapon storage, and maritime capabilities. Iran said it responded by targeting U.S. allies in the region, including Kuwait, which said another of its power and water plants had been hit following a similar attack the previous day. Jordan's military also said it has intercepted 10 Iranian missiles fired into the airspace, just as Bahrain reported that its air defenses had thwarted Iranian attacks. The US and Iran agreed to stop fighting in June to enable talks to end the war, but it appeared to make no headway as Trump declared the ceasefire over last week. And to sports now, the FIFA World Cup final has consistently produced unforgettable moments, with each edition writing a new chapter in football history. From 2006 to 2022, 5 different finals have showcased drama, brilliance, and the crowning of deserving champions. Akitunde Akinshemola has more.
And Khan has lost it.
Week's final in Berlin saw Italy edge France 5-3 on penalties after a 1-1 draw following extra time. The match is remembered not only for Italy's 4th world title, but also for Zinedine Zidane's shocking headbutt on Marco Materazzi in his final professional match.
Aimed in for Kurza!
4 years later in South Africa, Spain claimed the first ever FIFA World Cup title with a hard-fought 1-0 extra-time victory over the Netherlands. Andreas Iniesta's late strike sealed a historic triumph and completed Spain's era of international dominance. At Brazil 2014, Germany defeated Argentina 1-0 after extra time, thanks to Mario Götze's stunning winner. The victory handed Germany's a 4th World Cup crown and denied Lionel Messi his first World Cup title. The 2018 final in Russia produced 6 goals as France overcame Croatia 4-2 to lift their 2nd World Cup trophy. Didier Deschamps became only the 3rd man to win the tournament as both a player and a coach, while teenage sensation Kylian Mbappe announced himself on the biggest stage. Qatar 2022 delivered what many regard the greatest World Cup final ever. Argentina and France played out a thrilling 3-3 draw after extra time, with Lionel Messi scoring twice and Kylian Mbappe netting a remarkable hat-trick. The contest